Today I'm taking a look at a place I've wanted to look at for quite a while. This is the abandoned ferry village, also called the Little People's Village. It's in Waterbury, Connecticut, right over the border with Middlebury. Now this place really isn't that hard to get to. The main problem you'll run into is finding a place to park. Around here, for whatever reason, almost every parking lot has a sign up saying no parking or you'll get towed. More so than any other place I've been. So it was really tricky finding a spot. Not going to say where I parked, but I was able to do it and I did not get towed, so that was lucky. But from the place I parked, this was only about maybe a 5-minute walk at most. So when I was researching this online, there's quite a few stories as to what this place is. A couple of them are kind of ridiculous, supernatural type stories. But there seem to be like 2 or 3 main stories that seem most likely. The first is that this was just a roadside attraction along an old trolley route, which apparently would have closed in the 20s or 30s. Another similar one is that Quasi Amusement Park is right around the corner from this, and this was allegedly an attraction along the side of the trolley route for Quasi. Apparently that's been disputed by the owners of Quasi from what I've read. But the third story, which seems to be the most likely to be correct, is one I found on Connecticut magazine from just a couple years ago. So that story basically says that this guy named William Lannon bought this property back in 1924 and built a gas station here. But then in 1928 they built a new route which bypassed this road, and so there was no longer enough traffic going by to sustain the gas station. So apparently he decided to turn it into a nursery. And as part of that, it looks like he added these buildings that we'll see here, which you'd probably call the Ferry Village or the Little People's Village, as like an attraction to get people to come in. From what I understand, though, he never actually opened it to the public, and he apparently lost interest in it sometime in the 1930s or 40s. And then by the late 30s, I was reading, it was overgrown already at that point. And it's been that way ever since. So I don't think this was ever open to the public, at least as the ferry village. The gas station was open, though, at one point. Now, I read that this building here might have been a gift shop, possibly, or the main office. It's hard to tell. There's part of the old roof. Not sure where the rest of the roof went. Now, I searched online for historical photos of this place, but I couldn't find a single thing. So I really have no idea what this place looked like back in the 30s and 40s. And it's not entirely clear if it was ever actually completely finished or not either. Now, coming up here is the first and only freestanding building I could find. It looks like just a house, so I don't know if this was supposed to be an elf's house or just a miniature house. Figured we'll take a look inside though to see if there's anything interesting in here. And the one thing I did find kind of interesting is the wood. So I don't know if he used a wooden frame and then built upon it, or if that's just maybe for the roof. It's hard to tell. And also it looks like it's burned. So I don't know if there was a fire in there at one point. Wouldn't be surprised over 80 years somebody tried to light a fire in there. Now going along here, this is an old asphalt pathway. You can see the pavement there, which has fallen off. It still feels fairly sturdy, but obviously some of it has crumbled away there. And a lot of the time while I was in here, I was having to duck because there's a lot of low-hanging branches. Now, I'm not sure, but I think that pillar there was supposed to be a smokestack or a chimney. It's really hard to tell at this point. Straight ahead there is what they call the throne, because it looks like a king's throne. And then right here you have what looks like a house in the side of the mountain. Kind of like Hobbiton or Bag End in the Lord of the Rings. Now this right here I think is what some people have called a lighthouse, and it kind of does look like a lighthouse. But I'm not sure, I think it might actually be a smokestack, because down below here, this kind of looks like an oven to me, or a barbecue. Not really sure. I'm not seeing any vents out the back of that oven area, but that's what it looks like. I can't think of what else that would be. If anybody has any ideas as to what that is, let me know. Now here's a close-up of the throne. Not sure if it actually was a throne or not, but it does kind of look like a seat. Here's more unrecognizable debris. Not really sure what that would have been. Now this area here is down below what I think was the chimney. And when you look at it, it does kind of look like this could have been a building. Like obviously there's the side of the building and there's the chimney. And like most abandoned places around here, you'll see a lot of graffiti. But every once in a while you'll see some good graffiti, like this right here. I think that's somebody's depiction of what the place would have looked like back in the olden days. Now when you turn around here, I think this would have been the original entrance area, because this is facing right out onto Old Waterbury Road. So you probably would have come in here, going the opposite direction of course, and then gone around the attraction that way. And I wish I had taken a photo of it or a video of it, but there was a pipe coming out of the ground which might have been one of the pipes leading up to the old gas pumps, potentially. Now this here is right underneath the house that I showed earlier, and it's completely covered in ivy, but I'll bet you there's some other buildings underneath that. I just didn't feel like tearing all the ivy off, and I don't know if people would want me doing that. Now, I'm not sure what that tunnel is there. I don't know if that was just something fun for the kids to climb through, or if it serves some actual practical purpose. It's hard to tell. Now, this up here, I think there would have been something up here as well as part of the attraction, because there's actually a stairway on the other side there straight ahead that leads up here. So I don't know if there was something on top of the building or something where I am right now. I don't know, but there was something up here of some sort. Now also, if you do want to come out here, I'd probably recommend coming out as soon as possible, because from what I've read online again, they're potentially thinking about building a new interchange for exit 17 off of I-84, which is right around the corner from here. And if they did that, the state would buy this land as part of eminent domain and destroy this village. So if that happens, this probably won't be around much longer. So I would say come on out and take a look if you can do it. Just try not to get towed. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, as they say, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll probably do some more videos like this in the future. See ya.